Earning the second spot, in my opinion, being drafted by the Grand Island Bills and head coach Tony Wald. He's going to want to go for winning as number one on his list. He needs an anchor that can really just take over a game. And that person is none other than Terry Golden Goose Hergert, or as you like to call him, DJ Khalid, if I might rep a little bit of throwing it down old school. You know what I mean? But Terry Hergert, the guy is just everything he does, everything he touches turns to gold. Which is, I'm sorry, but that's a better nickname than DJ Khalid. Help. Anybody? Anyone else around here? Hello? DJ Urban Rap Poet? What did you call him? You're not even making any sense to me. All right? Terry Hergert, the Golden Goose, goes number 2 to the Grand Island Bills.
Number 5 on my big board is the Duke Bobberl. Out of Grand Island, wife Marcy, daughter Katie, son Alex. Over there living on Regal Drive, working his tail off. Got a great mustache. Not as great as this one, but it's very nice and dark. Has a little bit of premature baldness. Man's only 47 years old, but he works very, very hard. Customers love him, spends a lot of time on the road, tends to transmit at 6:30 every night, which is a little bit late according to Chad, but still gets a nice job done. He is a dark horse pick for the number 1.
In the third spot is the Sip Stars. All right, now we've got something new in that. Being drafted for the first time. What do you want? Sorry, I get no respect around here. I tell you. Where was I? The Sip Stars out of the third spot. And it's a tremendous move to elevate Gary Boring to head coach of the Sip Stars, even though the great John Steffens has decided to go on to basket weaving as a profession. And coming up next to him is Chad Edwards up at Bronger Foods as the assistant coach. And what they're really looking for now is style. Okay, they're not so much worried about winning. They've been winners before. They took second in the very first one. They took third or fourth last year. They're not into winning anymore. They're into style. All right, and the number 1 pick for them, going 3rd overall in the draft, is the person with the most style that can be. He revolutionized the game of basketball in style, and that's Greg Tiny Dancer Gravetti. All right, nobody looks better. No one makes the game look better. Effortless, the way he is on the floor, pirouette, passe, on point, if you will. He's a legend, and he will transform March Madness and make it the glorious, beautiful game that it is. His lines, have you seen his lines? Have you seen this guy's lines in leotard? Huh? I mean, not so much from the side, but from the back, he looks, he kills it, right? And I think a lot of players out there on the floor will just be mesmerized by him, and who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be? Sometimes I just find myself watching him exclusively. So.
Now next to my big board will be the Jerry Thompson Company. Just kidding, his name's just Jerry Thompson. Company's not named after him, thought it was. Jerry has a ton of big schools, which makes him a big, big competitor in this race. Jerry needs to be motivated, needs the right coach. Answering because Coach Wendell Rink takes him every year. Let's have somebody else join in on the Jerry Thompson fun.
You know, what I want to know is why TOBA decided to bring in a draft expert anyway, all right? I got your expert right here. Right? This is what I do, and I am I'm 74.3%, I think it's 74.4 now, almost always accurate with my predictions. And I just can't understand why TOBA would bring somebody else in. But
really? We're going to listen to this guy? This isn't even about March Madness. We're supposed to be talking about March Madness. That's all we care about. It's March Madness. It's March, and it's madness.
Don't look at me like that. Don't you dare look at me like. Do not eat the. Do not poop there. Do not pick your butt up. Don't you dare poop. Don't you, don't, oh, 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 oh. Call you.
Tommy, they're not laughing with you, bud. They're not laughing with you. They're laughing at you. You know?
In the 4th pick of the March Madness draft goes to the Circle B Bombers. Now, these guys are an enigma. All right? Number one, I would like to say that I believe that they have the greatest logo of all the teams in March Madness, right? I don't know if you guys know this, but that's a Circle B right there, which is for the label Bronger Circle B pork products. And then, I don't know, you can't probably tell, but those are two B-2 bombers with stealth technology going in opposite directions. Actually, they're not flying right there, like they didn't start there in the air, butt to butt, and then fly away. It's weird. If you can imagine, there's a big Circle B in the sky, and then these two bombers are actually flying. One's a little bit higher than the other, otherwise they run into each other, okay? And that's just crap. No one would do that because these things are worth thousands of dollars, all right? No one wants to waste that kind of money and stuff. So actually, they're actually crossing over the B, and then right at the time they're butt to butt, we snapped a picture of it. Then we stitched the picture onto a hat for the Circle B Bombers. But anyway, enough about that. But the Bombers got the 4th pick overall in the draft, and head coach Ray Absher knows what he's doing. He understands that he needs a heavy woman-laden team to be successful in this tournament. And so that's why his number 1 pick, all right, is going to be Sheila Downtown Brown, okay? Downtown Sheila Brown, all right? And then right after that, I believe he gets the, if I'm not mistaken, the 13th pick in the draft. So, hey, Johnny, did you hear that? I just did math in my head. I don't think you can do that. All right, so for the 13th pick in the draft, he's going to come back and he's going to draft Carmen Smith, all right, from Variety Foods. And then I believe he gets the 20th pick right after that. Did you see that, Johnny? Huh? Man, try to stay up, okay? He's going to come right back and he's going to draft Pamela, don't you dare call me Pam Hedges. And then I believe in the 29th, yeah, 29th. It would be the 29th pick of the draft in the 4th round. He's going to come right back around and he's going to draft Deanna Kroll, all right, out of Variety Foods in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, all right. Now, after that, it gets a little dicey, okay? He's going to need to find you know, more feminine type men to draft in rounds 5 and 6. But I think he can do it. And that's his, you know, he's going to take that team and those people will follow him and he will, I'm looking for a better finish than what he's done in the past. He's never won a 1st round game, Ray Absher. Never. But I'm thinking this is his year. He's just never really got the picks that he's wanted. And this is the year, drafting out of the 4-hole, I think he can do it.
That's, of course, the American flag on my right. Symbol of our freedom, patriotism. It's a nice gesture. You know, I like to show, you know, my allegiance to this country. You know, he likes to show his allegiance to headbands. Of course, you have Chief Justice John Roberts back here, personal friend of mine, close friend, he's a good friend. You know, spent a lot of time. He comes over on occasion. As you know, my former Vice President, George W. Bush, who eventually succeeded me. I got stories about George that make skin crawl.
Moving on into the 5th spot, the Sioux Falls Ringnecks out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Remember, year 1, they got a kind of a raw deal, right? They got stuck with Sheila Brown because that was the only person that they could draft, basically, right? And then she led them to like a 4th place finish or something like that. But they don't have that problem this year, which is good news for them. So I really think that what they're going to do out of the 5th hole, right, is that they are going to bring back out of retirement the produce pimp Walter Parks. I hear he's been asking around whether or not he could get back into this thing because it was some of the, and I believe I quote, the greatest moments of his life selling for Variety Foods in March Madness, becoming the produce pimp. And I think he's coming back out of retirement. I know that that's kind of a sleeper pick out of 5, but I feel fairly confident with my sources and what I know. Walter Parks is coming back, and he's going to the ring next for the 5th pick. And I'm going to go one further. The next time they choose in the 2nd round, pick number 12, all right, an earth-shattering pick, all right. Another person's coming back. Somebody 7-2 and then retired, won 2 titles. 6'8" power forward, Mr. Goodwrench. Mr. Goodwrench. I have to say it twice because wrench is actually spelled W-R-E-N-T-C-H, and Wrench, his last name is R-E-N-S-H. So, Mr. Goodwrench. I think he's coming back to pick for this 12th pick, 2nd round, and now you've got an unbelievable upheaval in March Madness, bringing people out of retirement to play for your team. That's genius, is what that is. Genius. I think he's going to do it. So that's my pick there for the 5th hole. Something like that.
You know, if Encore Cougars head coach Bob Wald it doesn't roll over in the championship game this year, maybe gives a 90% effort rather than a 12% effort, that would be very important. Some extra monetary gains for his squad. I think that's really important. And so Bob maybe takes a little more pride this year. Maybe goes for his team, and that's why I'm picking Encore Cougars head coach Bob Wald to win the 2015 March Madness title.
Like, listening to you talk is like listening to knives and forks being dragged over a chalkboard. Listening to you is like listening to my mom tell me that I need to wear underwear when I'm going to school in the 1st grade. All right? It's annoying. Listening to you is literally like listening to me drag my fingernails down a chalkboard. Listening to you is like slow death, being drowned by honey. You know what I mean by slow death? Because honey doesn't come out very fast. And so, like, if I was in a bathtub, laying down. Now let's do it like a tall, like one of those. Let's do a shower, but it's like totally waterproof. And you took one of those like sous vide honey things, and from the top you started squeezing that out. Okay, and obviously that's only like 16 ounces of honey, and this is a big shower, so you're going to need to go get more. You probably need to buy a case of that from the Thompson Company. Maybe you could get the Unipro label. Anyway, then I might have to wait for the next dot load to come in, and that could take a week, and dot might cut us. So maybe they're only going to give us 10 cases that first time because of unusual movement, right? And but still, it's going to take you probably an hour or two to empty all of those honeys, and then it's going to be up to my knee, and then the fun part starts to happen when the other 40 cases come up, because that's probably when we're going to start to maybe get up to in this area. But as you can imagine, that's a slow death. That's what listening to you sounds like. It's painful and slow. Yeah. I get no kick from champagne. Mere alcohol, that doesn't thrill me at all. So tell me, why should it be true that I get a kick out of Johnnie Jaccard, ladies and gentlemen? That guy, man, he's awesome. Woo! So glad we brought this guy in. Unbelievable. You are a disrespectful and very unpleasant human being. Everything was fine before you got here. In the 6th pick, in all seriousness, the Sioux City Tommies. I don't know if you noticed. Hey, Jaccard, where's your team? Where's your team, Jaccard? Oh, man. Can you imagine? What would we call them? What would we call them? The, I don't know, the Jaccards? Whatever. Where's your team? Where's your team, Johnny? Yeah, well, anyway, my team, all right, the Tommies, picking out of the, looks like the 6th pick to me. Here's the deal. Phil Rempley, got to cut the guy some slack. Rebounded last year. Took Sheila Brown. Ended up winning 5th place, 2-1. The only game they lost, I think, was to the Encore Cougars. So difficult first round matchup there. But in the second, this time going around, Phil Rempley is going to do something crazy here, and he's going to take Matt Deharsh for his first pick in the first round. Matt Deharsh. What do you think of that, Johnny? Huh? What do you think?
Jacob, why are you cutting away from me? Jacob, camera's here. Camera. Jacob, camera. Jacob, not there, here. Jacob, look at me! Look at me!
Last thing I'd like to say is that two-time champion Answer Anchors, head coached by Wendell Ring, this is the year that their luck runs out. All right, 8-1 going into this tournament. They're drafting out of the 8th spot. Every one of the good players that I've already mentioned are going to be taken by the time he gets there. All right, and understanding his fervor for taking Thompson DSRs for his team because he can't win with anybody else. I mean, talk about a handicap. Anyway, I think this is the luck runs out, and I don't think he's got a shot. Who's he going to take in the 8th? I mean, who's going to be left? Maybe Jerry Thompson, all right, again for the 4th year in a row, possibly, you know, and then I mean the only players really left are like Travis Freeman, Rick Butts, you know, Terry the Tiger David, Bob the Duke Earl. I mean, so there's really no good Thompson players left at that point in time. So I mean, he didn't really have a shot. So this is the year he goes down. I'm going to tell you right now, winners, all right, it's all about girl power. Virginia Slims, you've come a long way, baby. I'm saying the Circle B Bombers winning this tournament outright with an all-girl or slightly feminine squad in March Madness 11. Take that to the bank. Why do you got to hate women, Johnny? Hey, Johnny, let me ask you a question. Why do you hate women so much? Huh? He's perfectly capable of drafting an all-woman team. There's nothing wrong with that. Why do you got to hate women? That's sexism. Sexism. I prefer to be sexy. He prefers to be sexist. Sexist. Sexy. Sexist. Sex-y. Sexism. Sex-ism.
Thank God Ray Option brought me on. I don't know what I'd done without Ray. What would this company look like without Ray? Probably still be selling groceries out of fucking North Front Street.
We can beat that up. It has been a real pleasure talking to you. I would like to again protest that Johnny Jaccard is even here. I hear he has a website. He's got a Twitter. All right. I don't have a Twitter. Does anybody? I mean, where's my marketing staff? Okay. I feel like I just want to say that on the record that I can't. I just. This is tough for me. Johnny, I'm coming for you, man. Watch your back. Watch your back, Jaccard. Okay? Watch your back. That's all I gotta say. Tommy T-Bone's out of here. March Madness 2015. Peace.
You know, I'm out of here.